Trump's vision for immigration and deportation in his second term. Welcome to Global Dynamics Hub. Today, we're diving into U.S. immigration policy, tracing its recent shifts under President Trump's first term, the changes made during President Biden's administration, and exploring what Trump's re-election could mean for the future. Immigration is a complex, sensitive topic with real impacts on people's lives. So our goal here is to provide a balanced and respectful analysis of each administration's policies and their broader implications. President Trump's first term was marked by a strong emphasis on immigration reform, centered on the principle of strong borders and a commitment to national security. In January 2017, just days after taking office,
of President of the United States,
Trump signed Executive Order 13,769, known as the travel ban, which temporarily restricted entry from several majority Muslim countries. This policy, later modified to include additional countries through proclamations 9645 and 9983, set a tone of increased scrutiny over immigration. One of the most controversial policies of Trump's first term was the zero-tolerance approach, introduced in April 2018 by Attorney General Jeff Sessions. This policy mandated that all adults crossing the US-Mexico border illegally be criminally prosecuted, leading to widespread family separations as children were placed in detention facilities separate from their parents. The outcry over family separations was swift and intense, leading Trump to issue an executive order in June 2018 that effectively ended the practice, although the broader zero-tolerance stance remained. Trump also aimed to reduce overall immigration numbers. In October 2017, the refugee admissions cap was lowered to 45,000, the lowest in recent history, and in 2020, it was further reduced to 18,000. Another significant policy was the Migrant Protection Protocols, MPP, often called the Remain in Mexico policy, implemented in January 2019. MPP required asylum seekers arriving at the southern U.S. border to wait in Mexico for their U.S. immigration hearings. The policy aimed to curb illegal entry and maintain order at the border, although it faced criticism over the safety and well-being of migrants forced to wait in Mexican border cities. Another major development was the administration's stance on DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, which protected individuals brought to the U.S. as children from deportation. In September 2017, the Trump administration announced plans to end DACA, though legal challenges prevented the program from being fully dismantled. Trump's focus on stricter immigration control extended to work visas and family-based immigration, reflecting his administration's broader goal of tightening legal immigration pathways to prioritize U.S. citizens' job opportunities and security. A significant aspect of Trump's immigration policy was a strict focus on deporting undocumented immigrants, aligning with his administration's broader emphasis on national security and strict enforcement of immigration laws. In January 2017, Trump signed Executive Order 13,768, enhancing public safety in the interior of the United States, which directed federal agencies to intensify efforts to locate and deport undocumented immigrants, especially those with criminal records. This order expanded the authority of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, allowing the agency to arrest, detain, and deport a wider range of undocumented individuals. By removing prior enforcement priorities that focused on deporting individuals with serious criminal records, the administration broadened its scope to include nearly all undocumented immigrants. ICE's activities increased, with new tactics like workplace raids targeting undocumented workers and their employers. In 2018, several high-profile operations targeted industries such as food processing, construction, and agriculture, resulting in hundreds of arrests and single-day actions. Throughout his term, Trump also sought to penalize sanctuary cities, jurisdictions that limited cooperation between local law enforcement and federal immigration authorities. By threatening to withhold federal funding, he aimed to pressure these cities to work with ICE. Although this faced numerous legal challenges, Trump's deportation approach was further supported by the Remain in Mexico policy, or MPP, which limited asylum seekers' ability to enter the U.S. while awaiting case hearings. With his re-election, Trump's administration has indicated plans to intensify these deportation strategies, possibly expanding MPP and renewing efforts for workplace enforcement. Public statements also suggest that Trump's renewed term may see stricter penalties for employers who hire undocumented workers and continued pressure on sanctuary cities to collaborate with ICE. When President Biden took office, he quickly began reversing many of Trump's immigration policies. On his first day in office, Biden signed Executive Order 13,985, which repealed Trump's travel ban, signaling a more inclusive approach to immigration. Biden also raised the refugee admissions cap, first to 62,500 for the 2021 fiscal year, then aiming for 125,000 in 2022, restoring U.S. participation in global refugee resettlement efforts. In June 2021, Biden ended the migrant protection protocols, allowing asylum seekers to wait in the U.S. as their cases were processed. A shift from Trump's MPP policy that reflected Biden's humanitarian focus. The Biden administration also worked to protect DACA, taking steps to support legislation that could provide a path to citizenship for undocumented immigrants, though progress faced challenges in Congress. In March 2021, Biden introduced the U.S. Citizenship Act, a broader immigration reform bill aimed at modernizing the immigration system and providing pathways to legal status for many undocumented residents. Alongside these reforms, Biden sought to address the factors driving migration, particularly from Central America, with initiatives like the Root Causes Strategy to combat violence, poverty, and instability in the region. With Trump re-elected, his administration has signaled an intent to ramp up deportation efforts even more robustly than during his first term. Trump has expressed a commitment to intensifying deportation campaigns, targeting both recent arrivals and long-term residents without legal status. One key aspect of Trump's future deportation strategy includes the expansion of expedited removal proceedings, which allows for quick deportations of individuals apprehended without extensive legal processes. This could make deportations faster and more frequent, especially at the southern U.S. border. Trump has also indicated he may push to increase funding for ICE, enhancing the agency's capacity to conduct arrests and deportations within the U.S. His campaign has expressed interest in expanding workplace enforcement through more frequent raids on industries that employ undocumented workers. Employers who hire undocumented workers may face heightened scrutiny and penalties, sending a strong message to industries that rely on immigrant labor. Sanctuary cities remain a focal point in Trump's renewed deportation efforts. His campaign has suggested they may pursue more stringent measures against sanctuary jurisdictions that limit cooperation with federal immigration enforcement. Trump has indicated a willingness to leverage federal funding to encourage local and state governments to comply with ICE, although this approach may encounter legal hurdles. Finally, in a possible shift from his first term, Trump's administration may implement broader surveillance and data-sharing technologies to locate undocumented individuals. This could involve cooperation with other federal departments and agencies to facilitate deportation efforts across a wider range of undocumented residents, including those who have resided in the U.S. for extended periods. Through these expanded strategies, Trump's re-elected administration is poised to implement a far-reaching deportation agenda, reshaping the landscape of immigration enforcement in the United States. Immigration policy in the U.S. is ever-evolving and impacts countless lives, shaping communities and the economy. By understanding the shifts and strategies of each administration, we gain valuable insight into the broad effects of these policies. Thank you for joining us on Global Dynamics Hub. If you found this discussion informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more insights into global issues and dynamics.